There is a lot of hype in the market on how AI is revolutionizing the sales. After having helped several startups navigate the journey from 0 to 1 and 1 to 10, I am here to share some uncomfortable truth with you. AI won't save your sales process. In fact, it could very well be the most expensive distraction that could potentially kill your startup and your sales. Here's what AI can and cannot do in 2025. In the last 25 years, I have been fortunate enough to experience sales from three different angles. One, as a seller myself and a user of various tools, right from the early days when there were no CRMs but simple spreadsheets and Excel sheets which we were using as CRM tech. Second, as the global head for enablement for a tech startup, I was also responsible for managing the entire GTM stack, selecting which tools, technologies, SaaS applications will help our sellers and our marketers sell better and more. And third, I have been at the forefront selling CRM stack to a lot of startups and large enterprises globally, giving me the first person view on how these different tools help in optimizing your processes and getting your outcomes. In this video, I am going to share all the insights that I've learned and apply them on how AI can and cannot help you in your enterprise sales in 2025. So let's get started. Starting right from the top, we will start with prospecting. So, compared to the earlier efforts that somebody had to put in to research a prospective client, understand their revenues, their locations, the business model, key trends in the business industry, this is where AI can help you really shorten the overall time required to research prospects. But one word of caution, all this research can only be conducted on information that is available in public across news sites, across their own websites, LinkedIn, and so on and so forth. However, this information will only be at a surface level, which gives you general trend and announcements which are public in nature and nothing related to the internal working of the company. For example, you might get information on the number of people and the different roles for which the company might be hiring, but you might not find the actual challenges that they're facing when it comes to their particular tech stack that is helping them recruit more people. What are the challenges when it comes to the interviews, interview setup, how they are going forward with the entire process, what are the gaps, etc. These might not be publicly available for AI to analyze. When it comes to prospecting, especially in large enterprises, the key is to unearth the key challenges and pains that individuals, groups of individuals, functions are facing that are not enabling them to move forward or achieve the desired outcomes that they have in mind. This is very well addressed by a deep dive discovery, and there is simply no alternative to really making the customer speak because such details regarding challenges that they're facing in process, sub process, availability or unavailability of certain features, gaps in the technology capability, etc., are not available typically in public domain, but they are some things that are experienced by individuals within the organization. So, next time somebody tells you that with this tool you will be able to conduct discovery, trust me, it is not the case. I have been in situation where we had a clear go ahead from the HR head to buy our HR solution, but the CTO simply didn't want to change and they didn't have any resources, any time that they could invest in this project because their priorities were somewhere else. Now, these are the kind of situations where the information is again not available publicly and easily. So there is no way for AI to really understand how these team dynamics work, what are the priority for each leader, each team, each user, and how they will play out in the overall process when you're attempting to sell them something. I remember a very funny incident that we were selling to a very large enterprise, and after having made some progress, we felt that the person is ghosting. There was no response for a few days to some of our emails, chats, etc. The AI recommendation was sending another document that could possibly help create a sense of urgency. But when we connected with their colleague, the situation was something different. The person we were attempting to connect with and keep contact with was hospitalized due to some illness, and it was a simple case where they were not in a position to respond. So instead of sending another document and creating urgency, the human thing was to just go visit them in the hospital with a bouquet of flowers or fruits and wish them a speedy recovery. No amount of sales tactic or AI generated content would help in this situation where the person themselves are indisposed. So, contextual and situation awareness is something that is again very important in sales, and next best recommendation actions can be taken with a pinch of salt. Most of the times they might not work because the AI lacks the complete context on how different people within the organization are contributing towards this particular sale or buying process, and what each of them are chasing or the status with each and every person. What motivates them, what inspires them, what are the challenges, and how they will contribute to the overall process. Now, quite a lot has been spoken about the capability of AI to write new code, understand technology. But here's a fun fact that in an average enterprise, there could be 50, maybe sometimes even 70, 80 different applications, platforms, solutions that are working in tandem. A lot of these are customized for the requirement of that particular enterprise, and it has been a situation where multiple different companies partners have contributed in first and foremost deploying these solutions, and multiple partners could also be at play in maintaining these solutions. Just by feeding a lot of technical documentation to your AI systems, it still won't be able to tell you where which integration, which interoperability, which application, which team of users is facing challenges and in which specific process or sub process. So here again a deep dive discovery and one-to-one conversations with the respective users, influencers, evaluators will help you a lot more than simply assuming that if the prospect is using a certain software, then they are likely to face a particular challenge. The hypothesis might help you validate, but don't take it as the truth, because how they have implemented a certain solution, which features they are using, not using, is not again available publicly, and there is no way for your AI system to be certain that this is the precise challenge unless it has been accepted, validated by the user groups, the buyers, the influencers, or the evaluators themselves. Another area where I definitely see AI helping is just simple record updates. Now, be it getting a transcript from your Zoom meeting updated onto your CRM, or some contact details updated into your CRM, or creating certain quick presentations. These are the areas where AI will be able to help you generate some content very fast. However, the way every individual responds to content is different. While it might be a priority for a few set of users, it might not be priority for somebody in the IT team, for example, or somebody in the finance team where they have not understood. So it is important that you are able to create content but with a lot of context, and always ask yourself, how is this going to help my prospect decide better? Is this adding some value? Is this reducing some time? Is this helping them in evaluation and eliminating certain steps and challenges that are in the way? Just by creating tons and tons of content and by shipping them at scale will not ensure that you are able to close deals, but too much messaging at times can also cause a lot of irritation in the buyer groups. So ensure that even when you're using AI for generating all this content, It is with context and it has a definite purpose behind the creation and the distribution. Just blindly distributing content is not going to help you. And no matter how well it is designed, how good the message is, it will simply fall flat if it doesn't meet the expectations and doesn't follow the context. A lot of B2B selling is based on relationships where you are cultivating those relationships to ensure that you are able to build some level of trust and confidence with your prospect. Here's an interesting story that I would want to share with you on how the relationships really matter. I was in charge of selling a large digital transformation solution to one of the largest auto manufacturers in the world. While we were navigating the overall buyer requirements, conducting our discovery, it also became important that we are able to understand who is behind the procurement and build our relationships with the procurement team so that a good rapport will help us fasten the overall process. But now, as per the rules of the company, vendors were not supposed to email, meet, or even talk with the procurement team without the proper handoff. What does one do? So, in this particular case, we spent weeks after weeks visiting their factory, especially during lunchtime, finding ourselves a suitable spot right next to the procurement team, not to talk business, but just to get introduced, have some conversations, get to know each other so that we are at least able to greet each other with a smile when the time was right. Now, this kind of relationship was built over a few weeks, months leading up to the deal closure. But this is something AI will never be able to recommend, that if you want to meet someone, go to their office during lunchtime and try and find a seat next to them in their canteen. These are some of those tactics that you will have to evolve, understand, and apply yourself, which are specific to the deal at hand, while not breaking the law, but ensuring that you are still able to establish that human connect, which essentially is at the core of the sale. In order to build meaningful relationships, I would always advise to invest your time in understanding the industry, the challenges, the organization, and people centric issues, and not just work at a surface. So, the next time any AI vendor comes to you, ask yourself and them these two to three simple questions. One, what is the core challenge this is helping me solve? Is this challenge better solved by my AE, my salesperson, or this tool which will have limited to no context on the prospects, on the customers? Will this tool help me understand the customer problems in depth? Usually, the answer is no. Can it replace the human intelligence? Can it replace the connections that you are able to build? Can it replace the conversations that you can have with your prospects? And the answer right now is no. As the technology evolve, maybe in the future we might have better tools that do far more than what they are doing right now. But can AI completely replace the B2B salesperson? My answer is a strong no, because it is a human centric problem, which is not a technology problem. It is for two sets of people to identify those challenges, build solutions to address those challenges. As long as there are people trying to solve the people challenge, there will be salespeople required. Tomorrow, there might be AI that is trying to solve for another challenge of some other AI. Maybe we'll see how these two AIs interact with each other without any human involvement. And importantly, who's going to approve the budget for the same. If you like this video and other content that I've made, ensure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I keep posting videos helping founders just like you understand and navigate the complex B2B sales and GTM processes. So do not forget to subscribe to this channel and use all this information, these frameworks in improving your overall sales and performance. See you.